before I really understood what anime was, I knew I liked the style, and so we saw Spirited Away at Walmart or whatever, and I bought it, and I watched it with my aunt, and we're watching it, and at first she's like asking questions. I'm like, I don't know. And then like she kind of quieted down, and when we got to the end of the movie, she was like, when you stop asking questions, it's enjoyable.
I love that. Just let it happen.
I'm like, yeah.
Just let the anime happen.
Just let it happen. You don't need to know. You don't need to know all the details.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, welcome to Two Lacquered Ladies, the podcast about nail polish and nail art by the ladies who stream it. I'm Stephanie, aka Fanatic here on every social media platform that matters. I'm an unprofessional nail artist, and I like to make fan art on my nails.
Howdy, my name is Danny, and you can find me as Danny Shout online. I'm a science educator by day and a nail art hobbyist by night. On stream, I like to create scenes with themes on my nails.
Welcome back, everybody! Welcome back!
Hi there!
Well, hi there! We are back. We took a little break.
We did. We both needed it.
Yes.
I still am kind of slowly getting back into it because school started. My goodness. I forget every year how hard it is to come back to school.
And you had to make a whole new lesson plan.
Yeah, they changed my curriculum. And so it's like I'm a first year teacher again, staying up late, being only one day ahead of the kids so far as like lessons and stuff. I'm getting further ahead. I'm building some wiggle room, which is nice, but it does take a while. So yeah, and Stephanie actually helped me with today's lesson that I was working on. So thank you for that.
I don't know how much I actually helped, but it was my pleasure.
It was good.
Got to label something that wasn't alive, and I didn't even do that. I labeled something alive disgustingly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Stephanie suggested milk, and I was like, "Oh, that's such a good one." And we looked it up, and I didn't check my sources. Not gonna lie, I just read whatever Google gave me, like the kids do, and it did say that some milks, like human milk, can be considered alive because it's full of cells. And I just went,
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but like finding out that your milk can be considered alive.
Yeah, that's crossing a line, right? Like,
yeah.
'cause I knew that too. Oh yeah, there's biological stuff in milk. Of course, it's a biological product, but it itself could be considered alive. It's like a science fiction film, right? You leave it in a petri dish and it starts crawling around.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. That's what happens when you leave milk in a petri dish. Mm-hmm. No one here's ever left milk out for a long period of time, so they don't understand that it will turn into a monster.
Yeah, none of us have ever done that.
No, I've never left a bowl of cereal until it grew its own biome.
God, no, cereal specifically though. Not only does it turn alive, it also becomes its own building material. Something about Cheerios, man. Dried Cheerios stuck to a bowl? Like, yes. Why are we not using this technology?
We could build homes with this.
We really could. We could solve homelessness with boxes of Cheerios and a little bit of water, man.
You're so right. Cheerios specifically. They just, like, Cheerios. When they want to be on the side of a bowl, like, there's no convincing them otherwise.
Yeah.
Cheerios are actually alive. You can reason with a Cheerio.
Yeah, it's like a barnacle. It just clings and
a breakfast barnacle. They should call a competitor should call it breakfast barnacles.
Breakfast barnacles. Yes. Get the marketing department on the line. They're gonna be like, what?
Like, call them breakfast barnacles. I'm acting myself out, being sent in front of a board with a little
little pointer
at it. Breakfast barnacles, and they'll be like, that is not appetizing.
Nobody wants to
eat a breakfast barnacle. And like, make all of your cereals pirate themed, and then maybe they will.
Because then we can compete with Cap'n Crunch at the same time. Like, we're covering the market, people.
I think there need to be more cereal mascot beefs. So, like, make your own captain, and then and then like fight it out with Captain Crunch.
One of my favorite computer games of my childhood was a Captain Crunch promo thing. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it came in a box of cereal or it like came in the mail. I have no idea. It was so much fun. You trained a little crunchling, as they were called, these fuzzy little monsters, for like the Crunchling Olympics, which was skateboarding, throwing rocks, and jumping, I think.
Wow.
It was so much fun. So I'm just saying, we could have a video game market. So
cereal
much
companies,
here.
if you're watching, General Mills, that's who makes Cheerios, right? If you're listening, allow us to retheme Everything is Pirates and make a video game.
Yes.
And call Cheerios Breakfast Particles.
Yes. It's the world I want to live in.
I'm loving it. Yeah, so we couldn't record last time, but like because Danny was doing a lesson plan. However, had Danny not been doing a lesson plan, I still don't know if I would have been, able to actually edit the podcast. I probably would have, but I might have been like, the entire time. Because my husband had a big birthday, and we had a big birthday party for him where some people came in from out of town. And he took 2 weeks off before and after. This is his last day off that we're recording now. And so, I was very busy with my husbando. We went a lot of places. We visited family. And also, so much fun. We had a day where we played our Fallout Wasteland Warfare RPG, which we have been playing for a while. And if you've been on stream with me, you've probably heard me talk about various aspects of this RPG and show off some of my models. But I have been painting and also doing some sculpting on models. I'm really excited because I finished, if you know Fallout, you might know about a Death Claw, which is a large, I don't know what they used to be. Everything in Fallout used to be something.
Here, let me see if my husband knows. Okay, my husband's on the case. He says it's the DNA of a bunch of different animals for a Death Claw, so he's looking it up now. We have tech support
they were
on the line.
created. They were created.
Definitely what? Oh, chameleon is one of...
Yes, he's right. I remember hearing that. Yeah.
Hang on. Alligator, bull, panther, serpent.
Serpent.
And lizards. So basically, a death claw is what happens when you leave a petri dish of milk out for too long. Okay.
Yeah. Don't leave the milk out.
Solved.
You get a death claw. Anyway, they're large. They look kind of like dragon dinosaur things, and we have one that is capable of like human level thought, and it hides that it's
Can you ride them?
This one maybe.
Okay,
usually
because
no.
that's my main concern when I'm playing a video game is how many things can I go on a pony ride?
In Fallout, unfortunately, you cannot ride anything like a pony. And I think that's really a shortcoming of this game.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Somebody in our game rides a rad stag, which is like a stag with two heads. Because a lot of things just have two heads in Fallout. Like a lot of times it's just like, it's that thing with two heads. So one of our players does ride a rad stag, but that's in the tabletop RPG, not in the video game. So we're allowed to pretend we're riding anything.
Nice.
Now my character, once we meet this Deathclaw, because she is very wont to do things like this, might just be like, can I ride you? Can I ride you? Can I ride you? Can I ride you?
Just wear him down.
Yeah, exactly. It's Cherry Bomb's expertise is wearing people down. It really is. But so I sculpted this entire cloak. I'll put a picture in the links. But I used green stuff, which is an epoxy putty. And I sculpted an entire cloak to go over this Deathclaw, and she looks so silly.
That's awesome.
Let me show you. I can show you before painted. I can show you what she looks like before painting.
Okay.
Husbando slap chopped her, which is a technique that you do. I'm not going to explain it here because this is not yet a miniatures podcast.
And never will it be. I'm going to be completely honest because I appreciate the mini world. Oh, that looks like it came that way. You did a really good job with that cloak. That's awesome.
Thank you.
She does look silly, but I love it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
She looks cozy.
Right?
Because I can see the naked one in the background of what it normally looks like. No, that's great.
Oh,
That
yeah.
looks
I didn't
really
even realize
good.
I put the naked one in the background. That's actually really nice that I did that.
Yeah, that's good comparison. No, I love it because you made it look like it's a bunch of stitched hides, like, and the stitching's all, like, it looks like someone who has giant claws would make that, and it looks right.
Thank you.
Good job, Steph. That's really good. I am super impressed.
Thank you. The other side doesn't look as good, which is weird because I did it after, so you'd think I would be like, I got it now.
You know, sometimes you just get it right the first try. Like, I'm going to be honest, teaching class, the first time teaching a lesson is rough, and you make lots of mistakes, and you're like, oh man, I got to fix all this. But like the second and third time, perfection. Like, you got it. And you'd think the best times would be the end of the day when you've done it like 6 times in a row, but no, you're exhausted by then. And you can't remember all the things that you've already said. And you're like, oh, I already said that. But no, you didn't say that to 6th period.
I was exhausted by the end of this because, like, my back hasn't been very good. I finally figured out a chair situation that made it better. But, yeah, just sculpting all of those individual stitches took forever.
I bet they did.
I was like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to paint. And then I was like, no, you're just going to do this, Stephanie, all day. All day. It feels really good to be learning this sculpting because one thing, sometimes the miniatures get messed up. That's kind of the number one thing people do on miniatures, sculpting wise, is just fill gaps and stuff like that. And so it feels really nice to have Husbando, who builds the miniatures, because I don't really like working with the glue and stuff, being like, hey, this has a gap here, or like this person's half of their arm's missing. Can you like sculpt the rest of their arm? And being like, yeah, I could do that. It makes me feel very powerful.
That's good.
So I create. I create.
Oh, I think what I was saying earlier is like, I appreciate the artistry and everything that goes into minis, but I can't get into it myself.
Yeah. No,
it's too much. The nail polish is already too much. I can't possibly take on another tiny thing hobby.
Yeah. We have already so much of this stuff because Hubs has been doing this for so many years, like since before I knew him. And actually, so in our first apartment we lived in together, I moved into his apartment he was already living in. And we had this closet. And I thought it was this like 3 foot by 3 foot little tiny walk-in closet. And that like on one side of the closet was a stack of miniatures boxes. And then we moved into a new apartment. And no, it was like a 7 by like 5 foot, and it was just solid minis, and I was literally crying. I was like, you know, moving's horrible. Even in our tiny apartment, moving was awful, and it's like I felt like we were never done moving. And no matter what we did, we were never done. And then it's like, okay, I just got to move the miniatures, and I'm like, okay, cool. So there's just like a few of these, right? No.
No. Oh my god. They just keep coming. You're like, why isn't it done? Why is there more?
Yeah. He has enough stuff that like he will like trade things in mass. Like he's like, do you want this entire army of lizard men for your entire army of whatever? They're fully painted, but I'll trade them for you. Like,
wow.
It's a whole thing. So yeah, it wasn't much of a thing for me to start doing this again. And I used to do it. And also it's just such a great thing for Hubs and I to do together. And we were having such a good time.
Yeah. And I'm a little jealous of that. I do wish that the Hubs and I had a creative hobby to do together, but he's not super into the creative things. So we'll find something eventually though.
Yeah. You know, it's definitely a thing that's had to be intentional. I realized we weren't spending as much time together as we should, and that we weren't spending as much quality time together, because you can sit next to each other on your phones, but it's not really quality time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, somebody who is absolutely addicted to my phone, absolutely. I've had to train myself to say like, no, I'm not gonna look at Instagram again. I'm gonna go over to the table and, work on this. But of course, you have to have the table. There's so many things you got to do. But yeah, if you do have a partner, it's so worth it to find something to do together. Because, yeah, I'm helping with a lot of different aspects of this game that we're playing, and it's just one of the most rewarding things we've ever done.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. We're having so much fun. And it's the first time I've actually really enjoyed playing an RPG. And I think part of it is that I actually know Fallout versus like D&D, where it's like, you should go to a store and buy like enchanted ammo. And I'm like, well, why I don't care. I don't want to do that. And now the same exact thing where I'm like, I want a syringer rifle so I can shoot people from far away and have effects. Like the same exact thing, but I just know what it is.
Yeah, I feel that because I've tried to play a couple of tabletops and I just couldn't get into them. And so I ended up making up my own tabletop with very, very simple mechanics, but I called it plot holes. And the whole thing was that your party falls through a plot hole into whatever world you want. So we started out in World of Warcraft, and then we moved on to, I think it was Star Trek or something like that. Like, you just fall through plot holes whenever you get tired of a setting. You know what I mean? It was
yeah, I love that. It's so cute.
So yeah, you have to be invested in the world.
You really
to
do.
enjoy it, for sure.
Yeah, my character's also just like a total, like... She's kind of like me, where she's just like a sinner, but we're having fun and being good.
Yeah. It's the apocalypse. We're allowed to be a little wild.
Yeah. You know, we're going to help you, but first, I'm going to flirt with you until you're uncomfortable. All right. But anyway, we do have some stuff nail related to talk about today.
Yeah, last night we played bingo, so Polish Pickup Bingo. Thank you everyone who joined us. It's always a fantastic time, even though you and I run on like the fumes of a single brain cell.
We really do. How is it that every time we do Polish Pickup Bingo, it's just like, it's like Danny and I have been like out like partying all weekend or something and it just like roll in.
I don't. It's so funny when that record button starts and we're live when the chat starts going. I think it's probably just that. It's that. I mean, okay. So I'm gonna be honest. That is the experience of being a teacher. Because you're like answering this question, talking to this person, trying to read the descriptions, you know, and do your. I call it pinging because you're like ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
And yeah, it saps. That is why I haven't been able to stream a lot lately. It's because like my brain power is just completely sapped by the end of the day. But for Polish Pickup Bingo, it's worth it because it's so much fun.
Yeah. And clearly everybody likes it, but sometimes it is surprising because it's like we have. What are we even saying? What's even happening?
I don't even know. And I start things that become traditions on accident, like the live, laugh, love voice.
Oh my God.
And now I have to do it every time. I hope people like it. I hope people actually
like it. It is very clear that everybody likes it. So when especially a certain creator makes very, very long descriptions, Danny reads them in
read them in this voice so that you really get the feel for it.
Yeah. It's like every fall I love going to the apple orchard. So
drinking a PSL with my besties, wearing my Uggs.
Yes. And so like after last night you gotta know they love it.
Yeah,
because yeah, like we ran out of actual prizes to give because we just gave out, you know, one sub to my stream, one sub to Danny's stream. And so we were trying to think of something for free that we could give to the audience that we could deliver immediately. And I think somebody in the audience suggested that you give somebody a compliment in your what were you calling it?
Live, laugh, love voice.
Like live, laugh, love voice. I also
the
like
PSL voice for short. Yeah.
Yeah. Live, laugh, love, or PSL for short. Those all make sense. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, dear listeners, I love pumpkin spice. I am all about going to the apple orchard.
This is not a personal, if you love all of those classic fall things, if you are a basic bee, total support. We love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
That's my brand, okay? Normcore. They're nice. It's nice things.
Yeah. Someone can, if you need to, record yourself doing a Stephanie over-explaining something that nobody cares about voice. Because I know better. I'm not.
I know what this house is made out of.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't throwing stones.
But yeah, Danny did it.
Funny.
I also joined in, and everybody thought in the chat it was great, and I thought it was great. And yeah, I think we need to do more prizes like that.
I liked it. Yeah. It's easy. It's something I could do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the polishes were great. I was surprised how many actually did end up on my wish list, despite not thinking I added that many to my wish list, but I did. There was a lot of magnetics and thermals this time around.
On your wish list?
Well, just in general, but also that made their way onto my wish list.
Yeah. I think I have 14 on my wish list. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I have, no, less than 14. I have 11 on my wish list. So not a very large wish list for me.
I have 20 on my wish list, but I know I'm going to cut that down real easily. Like, just looking at it right now, I see a bunch that I'm not going to keep. But yeah, like I said, a bunch of thermals and magnetics made their way on, which I already have the Holo Taco thermals filling up my little creeper fridge in my background. And I don't remember if last time I really talked too much about them, but they're great. Color shift is fantastic. So I don't really need any more thermals right now, but man, some of them are cute.
Yeah.
Some of them are real cute.
I think, I don't know. The one thing, there's one polish that I have such mixed feelings for, because for the first time ever in my life, I saw somebody else make, I mean, not that I've made one, but Femme Fatale made a polish called Mother of Sorrow, which is Suspiria themed.
Yeah, like
now,
the 1977 one, too.
The 1977
not
one.
the newer one.
I don't know who would make
one
for the newer one over the older one, because the newer one, I mean, I could go on about this forever. The newer one's not that good, and the older one has colors.
Yeah.
Oh, you taste the rainbow in that one. And like in the new one, you don't. You don't taste the rainbow. You taste blood and gore. That's all you taste.
The generic taste of blood and gore.
The generic taste of blood and gore, which, don't get me wrong, I do love, but you know me, like if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know I'm a vibrant color lover. So if I could taste the blood and gore along with the rainbow, you know I'm going to taste the blood and gore along with the rainbow. You know I'm going for that. But yeah, the movie has like a very specific color palette, which translates so beautifully to nail polish, but they did not choose to go with that color palette.
Yeah.
Which is so bizarre to me. And like, I'm so curious. I wish I could talk to them about this. I guess I could email them, but I also don't want to like sound like I'm I don't want to be like, why did you make this the wrong color? And they're like, oh, I thought it was the right color. I guess it could be like, what was your inspiration for this color story?
Yeah.
But it is the only Suspiria polish I've ever seen. And like, I guess I'm not too surprised. I didn't realize that it was Suspiria from the name, because the Mother of Sorrow is something from Suspiria. If it said like, well, okay, if it said Mother Suspiriorum, of course I would know that, because I'd be like, oh, Suspiria. So that goes without saying. Anyway, I'm sure this conversation is really interesting if you haven't seen Suspiria and don't care. But yeah, so that's that one, and Bee's Knees, That's a Choice, are both my like, ooh, should I, shouldn't I? Polishes. I think I am gonna get Rogue Lacquer Poison Apple.
That one's on the top of my list. Yeah, that's a really fun and unique flaky bomb that could work for Halloween or Christmas, which is really cool.
I don't have anything like that at all. So the more I look at it, the more I'm like, no, that's good. So I think there's probably 4 I'm going to get, which would be Cadillac or Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Which I've wanted since I saw it. Poison Apple by Rogue Lacquer, Monarch Lacquer Psycho, which is just a black to red multi-chrome with red metallic flakies.
Yeah. I'm on the fence about that one, just because I just got Cuticula's Never Sleep Again, that I feel fills this niche for me anyway. But it's on my list. I'm going to consider it.
Yeah, this is just doing everything for me, and I don't think it's going to be doing everything for everybody else necessarily. But like also Monarch Lacquer, like I am becoming such a fan.
Yeah.
I ordered and we'll talk about this in a bit. I ordered the Truth or Dare siblings from their website, and to get me to order from somebody's website, like that is a feat for a brand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually, like, my kind of deal this whole year has been like, I'm going to order from Polish Pickup and I am going to get my Orly color pass. And that is it. So to get me to order from the website's a huge feat, but like Monarch Lacquer has been speaking my language so hard for so long. And I just never saw it coming. I didn't think that, like, when they first, you know, rebranded and from the company they used to be, which was Fair Maiden, which I do have some I love from Fair Maiden. I wasn't thinking like, man, I'm so like, this is the one that it's gonna be for me. And yet
here, I know, I'm very surprised because I was a little scared when Fair Maiden split into Bow Revs and Monarch, but both of them are doing fantastic. I have the Bow Revs and the Monarch on my wish list because they're both gorgeous. Like, they're doing great, sweeties.
Doing amazing, sweaty. The last one that I have is Kathleen & Co. Pumpkin Vibes, or as we're calling it, Caramel Apple Vibes, because I have never seen a multi-chrome just like this, and I love it, and it's perfect. So good.
Yeah, it's a really good multi-chrome, and it is definitely caramel apple. There's no pumpkin in there.
No.
But that's sometimes you misname things. It's okay. Yeah. See, some standouts for me by Vanessa Molina, Hocus Pocus. Big, chunky flakes in a purple blue multi-chrome background. I think it nails the whole, like, I'll call it gaudy Halloween, you know, like just overt Halloween looking nails. I love that. Anchor and Heart, Everything Sucks. I think that's hilarious. Like, that might be a for the name polish, but also it's a beautiful red. Bluebird made in orange.
Yes.
And I feel feelings about it because it's a beautiful orange, but it looks really weird with the Bluebird Lacquer logo on it because it's like, that's not teal. What are you doing? Other than that, the one thermal, I should say two. There's two thermals on here that are really tempting me, and that's Cupcake Polish's Carry, because I do feel like it nailed it. Like, that looks cool. It's a clear to black thermal, which I feel like everybody has one. I don't have a single one, so I feel like I need one. And then it's got this big, chunky red flake running through it that's just, it's so Halloween. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then Crystal Knockout, not looking Halloween at all, but looking delightful, has this, like, soft lavender to purple thermal with big, chunky orange glitters in it. And I don't know. I love a contrasting glitter. I can't help myself. But other than that, we've got Emily DeMolly tempting me with a magnetic. It was a weird month where tempted by magnetics, but it's this gorgeous deep blue with this, like, orange magnetic pull. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, I have a lot of decisions to make. But yeah, we did see a few notes in the description about family members, about polishes with extended family.
Yeah, the one that really stood out, the one that really started us talking about this is that Bee's Knees, that's a choice, was a lion cousin. And, like, I was just calling it a lion sibling. And someone in the chat was like, no, it's a cousin. Or maybe Danny was like, no, it's a cousin.
Yeah, the description straight up says cousin. What?
So here's the deal. Okay, somebody in chat explain this to us. Here is the deal. Siblings are when they have the same shimmer, the same base and the same shimmer. And cousins are when they have the same base and a different shimmer. So, like, a sibling would just have a different color, not base, but, like, sorry. So, like, I guess probably better to explain the exact thing. So for a lion's paw sibling, so this is lion with a thorn in its paw.
In its paw, which Fall Out Boy song title.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy song title. Lion with a thorn in its paw, I believe, is a deep, like, navy blue with a crushed hollow and a shimmer of some color.
I would like to see pictures, please. Okay, yeah. Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw. I don't understand why this was so popular. It's like a dusty periwinkle looking base with, like, a red shimmer and then, yeah, a little scattered hollow.
Oh, okay.
Crushed hollow looking.
So, if it was a sibling, it would have a different color, different base color. It would have the crushed hollow and it would have the red shimmer. So this one has the crushed hollow. It's a different color and it has a different color shimmer. So, it's a cousin?
It's not related. I'm sorry, but, like, no. I'm pretty over this whole, like, sibling talk. Because here's the thing. I think, like, the Truth or Dare siblings, that makes sense to me because they had this one polish that was really popular, and then they made a few polishes similar.
Yeah.
Okay, call those siblings so that people know what to expect, and then you're done. But BKL just keeps going. We cannot have cousins. There are no cousins in the nail polish world. Like, if you have a really popular formula, polish, whatever, and you want to make a collection based off that and call it, like, you know, the sibling collection or whatever, so that people know what to expect, okay, fine. You can do that once. But I am sick. I'm sick of this whole, like, expanding the family every month.
You may spank it once.
I think Lumen did this with the glass animals or whatever.
Yes.
Again, if it I don't actually know for sure. If it was one collection, okay, fine. But do not keep, like, throwing out glass siblings. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
They're just so lonely. They keep making their own glass siblings so that they feel like they have a family. Yeah. So we were, like, joking. We were calling everything siblings and cousins yesterday. Like, I can't even name the amount of things that we called a sibling or a cousin. Or, like, so honestly, we are enjoying it. But yeah, I feel like Bee's Knees does this thing where they're like, oh, everybody liked that one thing, so let's make a bunch of things like it and, like, you know, use it as a marketing tool to get people to buy these things. Because I found out that Queen of Rot was actually, I believe, a cousin of Doomicorn.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Those are the only
She's
two
her own
BKLs I
person.
have. Yeah. It's kind of like how me and my cousin Jessie are cousins, even though we are in no way blood related at all. It's just because our moms were friends.
Yes, it's that kind of cousin. It's not real. I get the term, but, like, yeah, I agree. I think it's just a marketing thing, and it's just,
they're just
to
really
me,
good
it's a
friends.
Weird marketing thing. Yeah, like, you guys are just friends. 'Cause, like, to me it feels like I'm missing out because I don't own Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw. You know what I mean? And I will never understand this family of polishes, and it actually kind of turns me off from them, and I don't want to buy them.
Yeah, actually it kind of does. And I see it's like a Lion in the Thorn's Paw cousin or sibling. I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't have that. And then I kind of move on.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is not for me. This is for whoever bought that first polish, I guess. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, I want to know, though, in the comments, how you guys feel about cousins and siblings in the polish world.
How do you feel about cousins and siblings, everybody? Let us know in the comments. Air your family grievances. In the comments. I do. The more I look, though, at Bee's Knees, that's a choice. And the fact that I know that it's, like, the theme was scary, like, old-timey vintage Halloween costumes, just one of my favorite things. I do like it, so I might get it.
Yeah, I think the polish stands on its own just fine. I don't think it has to be a cousin to anybody.
They also called it sepia, which we're not sure.
It's wrong. Yeah. I don't think it's sepia, but it's pretty, but I don't think it's sepia.
Yeah, I don't think it's sepia. But yeah, another thing that happened recently that there has been so much drama. Much drama. Most of which, I'll be honest with you, do not care.
Mm-hmm.
No one, I don't care. However, there has been some drama around the new Cirque Colors jellies, but Danny has bought them. What are your thoughts on these?
They're lovely. I love Cirque jellies. Are they overpriced? Yes. Are they adorable? Also, yes. In fact, I went ahead and bought a Jarritos soda fiesta pack to taste test the sodas while I, like, swatch and review the polishes, but then all this drama happened, and now I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that video. I feel a little nervous about it. I probably still will eventually, but yeah.
So what the drama was is that it appears that Cirque Colors had edited some swatches to make colors look more different than they were from each other in their jellies line. And yeah, that does suck. Mm-hmm. Do I think you should be canceling? Not that people are doing this. I have not seen people do this. Not that you should be canceling influencers or just people randomly online who buy them and then show them.
Yeah.
I just think that I don't know. I feel like there is a certain level of real damage that people can do that is stuff that you should take a stand against. But I just don't feel like editing some colors should be the end of cert colors, although I do think it's a very underhanded, like, you know, not a great thing to do. Like, you know, maybe just be open. Like, these are really similar colors, but we thought they went really well with this collection, which I think is probably what happened.
Yeah, because not gonna lie, I think it was mango jelly and peanut jelly from the new collection. They are absolute dupes of each other. Like, they are the same color. The rest of them, though, they're their own colors, and I think, you know, if you enjoy collecting jellies like I do, then they're worth getting. But yeah, that was not a great thing to do. And with situations like this, it's so hard to tell, was that Cirque as a brand making that decision, or was that one person who was like putting, you know, because also the pictures from Cirque looked like weirdly hazy, which is kind of a Cirque thing. Like, they like their pictures to be kind of
they want them to have looking. A vibe.
It's a vibe, right? So was it
Yeah.
accidental, or were they actually trying to make the colors look more different? I do think they were trying to make the colors look more different. But yeah, it turned into a whole thing about, like, you know, is it okay to edit swatchers' photos? I don't think so, but it happens all the time. I mean, look at Mooncat. We've talked several times about their swatch pictures on their website don't always look how the polish looks when you get it. So it's not like an unheard of problem, but yeah, it is making me like a little nervous to make a video about it, because internet drama can get out of hand so easily. I don't think it has at this point, but it could so easily.
I think if you just mention in the video when you get to the polishes in question who have been edited, being like, so, you know, there was some question as to, is this actually different from this color? You know, like, just bring it up, because then people, you know, I mean, maybe they won't watch your video and will just be like, you suck, you use these polishes. I don't think it's gotten to that point with this.
I don't think it has either, but
yeah. But if you don't want to buy from Cirque because you don't trust their swatches, I think that that's totally valid.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your money.
Yeah. You know, if you don't want to buy from Mooncat because of the swatches, or if you're a Mooncat stan, despite the fact that they, you know, regularly have swatches that don't really line up with the polish. And, you know, I'm somewhere in between there on both of these. Like, I think that if you are an educated nail polish consumer, you're going to want to seek out a number of people who have gotten it in PR, who have swatched it, especially from these larger brands that have a few people who have done it. Like, obviously, you can't do that with every brand, because sometimes brands only have their own hands, because that's all they can afford to take pictures
They
of.
get the Go Girl give us very little square on bingo nights, but they're trying.
They're trying. They're trying to get there. They're trying to get to the point where they can send out PR. They're trying to get to the point where they can pay their swatchers. You know, I don't think that there is this, like, magical cutoff from, like, ethically pure, nothing ever done wrong company, and this, like, horrible business shill stooge. Like, there is a spectrum in there, and people make mistakes. And, like, I'm not really talking about Cirque Colors, because, like, Cirque Colors is going to survive. They're a big company, and if they can't survive this, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Sorry.
But, like, yeah, it can really be hard to see people, for me at least, to see people just, like, pick, even if it is something that is, like, wrong, that somebody did that was, like, wrong, that isn't something like Manitude having people's fingernails fall off.
Yeah.
Or
there's a big gap there.
spouting hate on your Instagram. Like, there's some things that, like, yeah, of course I'm going to boycott a company for. But when it's just, like, a small thing and people are acting like they started World War III, it's like, everyone, I beg of you to just go outside for a minute. I know this is rich coming from me.
Touching.
There's some grass that needs touching. Go read a manhwa And then you'll have real problems, like me. I've never overreacted.
Yeah, we didn't spend like half an hour before starting recording talking about, listening, me on my side, manhwa problems. Yeah, my big disclaimer is I did buy the jellies before all that controversy, so like what am I supposed to do? Send them back? I don't think so. They're already swatched and in the drawer. And yeah, I love the Cirque jellies, and it's one of my mini collections within my collection. Just like I collect all the hollow tacos, I also collect as many of the Cirque jellies as I can get my hands on. It's just like a weird thing that I like. So yeah, I'm happy with them, and it was crappy of them to change the pictures, but I'm also, there's bigger fish to fry. There has been some more drama about, you brought it up earlier, paying swatchers. And I'm gonna say something controversial. If you are in communication with a company about being a swatcher for them, and you agree to swatch without payment, that's on you. I do think swatchers should get paid for their work. However, there's an agreement there. You know what I mean? Like you have the power to say, no, I want to be paid for my work. And the company can say, okay, we'll find somebody else. Because unfortunately, at this point, especially with like the indie brands and stuff, I do think that there are plenty of people who will do it for free. So yeah, I'd love for everyone to get paid for their labor. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think enough people are willing to say no for that to be the standard yet. So hopefully that's something we work towards. Linry made a great video about this, kind of, especially talking about the difference between a swatcher and what they do versus just taking swatch pictures like a lot of us do in the hobby. So yeah, that's a good video to check out, and I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts about it though, because I do think it's a issue worth talking about, but I don't think it's an issue worth getting upset about as of right now.
Yeah, my general thoughts, I have a lot of general thoughts. First off, it was like, okay, that sounds like a lot of polishes to swatch. I wouldn't take that job.
Yeah, I would say no.
Didn't. I would say no. So that's my first thought. And I think that was a lot of people's thought, that's too many to swatch for free. And for some of us, too many to swatch at all. 15 polishes, too many to swatch at all. So many. So that's my first thought. And, it's really tough. It's really tough. Like, I feel like businesses, I'm not trying to sit here and cry for businesses. I'm not. But it can be tough to be a small business just trying to do your best. And we live in this society, insert Joker image. We live in a society where people are really, really struggling. These indie creators are really struggling. These swatchers are really struggling. And all of us, pretty much, are at the bottom of the food chain in regards to, existing. I don't even feel like a lot of people are really struggling. I am not a person who is really struggling, but even in my life, I do struggle with finances and stuff. Almost everybody does, except for the top of the top. So it really is sad that we live in this world where we are at the peak of automation. Everything's been easier than it's ever been. And yet, you still have to live to survive, even if there's not stuff for you to do. And yeah, that to me is the real issue. At the end of it is that, we have so many people who are struggling to survive, who are trying to make money any which way they can. And we shouldn't live in a world like that. But I think that's separate from what a nail polish company decides to do or not do, especially if they're open about it from the beginning. It'd be very different if this company sent out their PR with, promises of money and then said, no, we expect you to swatch it without getting paid. And if you don't do it, we're going to tell other makers that you were hard to work with.
Yeah, that would warrant a ban, a cancellation, a whatever you want to call it on that brand, because that's crappy.
Yeah, but this was up front from the beginning. Is it not the best look? Sure, it's not the best look, but you just don't do it. if you don't want to do it. And, you know, maybe there needs to be a swatchers union. I don't know. I'm not a swatcher.
Yeah.
But that would be the next step for that. And I just do want to say, like, of everybody who I've heard talk about this, I only know of one person. I've only heard one person weigh in who is somebody who swatches regularly and gets paid for it. And they didn't care. I'm just going to leave it there.
They don't. It's such a weird gray area because it's not no offense, it's not a real job. As in, I don't think you could put swatcher on your resume and have it be a thing. You know what I mean? It is definitely a real source of income for some people. But so far as like a union, a standards, you know, stuff like that, there's not like a protection thing built in for swatchers. So I don't know if that's in the future or not. That'd be really interesting to see if this industry gets big enough where that goes.
Well, you know, I do hope that to a point something does happen because beyond nail polish, beyond our group, this whole world of influencer advertising is completely unregulated. Yeah. And, you know, maybe there should be regulations, maybe there shouldn't be regulations, probably somewhere in between, a few regulations perhaps. But yeah, we are kind of on the starting end of this trend. So yeah, you know, I do think it's good to voice your opinion on what's going on, especially if you do have a stake in it. Especially if you are a swatcher. Like me, I can go on all day about what I think about swatchers getting paid. At the end of the day, I'm not a swatcher. And I'm not even trying to be a swatcher. I'm not approaching companies. I'm not doing any of that stuff. So anything that I say, it doesn't really matter because these things don't apply to me.
Yeah.
But if they do, I do hope that it becomes better for you. And more than that, I just hope that we stop living in this world where there's not enough to do and too many people who need things to do in order to survive. Yeah. It's very sad.
Yes. On that delightful note, I think we...
Sorry, Danny gets the wildest. My hands are fully under my boobs right now.
Hey, it's warm and cozy down there, man. And I
don't need it to be warm and cozy, but I just did. Actually... It was the desire to put because I'm not wearing a bra. It's my desire to put my shirt.
You can cut this out. You don't have to admit anything to anyone.
Look, I don't want to admit this to you. It's my greatest shame. But I'm not wearing a bra.
In your own house?
In my own home. Disgusting. And I wanted my shirt between my boobs and my tummy.
I love doing that. That's how I walk around. That is my natural state. Anyway. Cuticle break.
Yeah, let's go oil our cutes. When we come back, we are going to have an audience question from Tiffany Ford, our beloved Tiffany. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's Stephanie, and I'm here to say that if you're loving the show, please consider joining us on our Patreon, where you can be a lackey. That's LACQUI lackey. Every new lackey gets a special shout out on the podcast. And now back to the show. All right, we are back. We are moisturized. We are in our lane. We are thriving. I did remember to put on cuticle oil. It's a miracle. I know. It's if you want to know what ADHD is like, it's saying, we're going to take a cuticle break, and then watching Danny oil her cuticles and me just completely forgetting that that's what we're doing right now. That is what it's like. You might be familiar with this, and you might not. It's like, sorry, brain not working today. Anyway, so before we answer our lovely question, we want to talk very briefly because Holo Taco has announced a new theme for their collection, and it's very exciting.
Yes, it's coming out. Wait, when is this episode coming out?
Wednesday, the 4th.
Okay. It's coming out the day that this episode releases. It is Holo Taco's Dark Academia collection, and it's not a boxed collection, so it's not limited edition, which means I might try to wait for a sale, for the Black Friday sale, but knowing me and my impatience, probably not. Because it really does look gorgeous. So Dark Academia, it's going to have some creams. It's going to have some specialty finishes, including a Crelly. I'm very excited to see that. And yeah, it's going to be dark. It's going to be spooky. It's going to be Dark Academia, whatever the heck that means. I just picture, like, Victorian Hogwarts, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm down for it.
Yeah. I think also, like, Dark Academia kind of gets into, like, early, like, 1950s kind of, like, Dead Poet Society, old Harvard
Yeah,
aesthetic.
I think a lot of, from what I can tell, a lot of things can fall into this category. And it's so funny. The rise of the aesthetics has been really interesting. And I think it's from Instagram and TikTok and things like that. Everything has its own aesthetic now. And in fact, I have, on Pinterest specifically, I've been like digging through the aesthetics, and I have found my favorite aesthetic is apparently called dark cottagecore.
I love it.
Just like, what even is that? I don't care. I think it's pretty. But yeah, I'm excited to see one of those Pinteresting aesthetics turned into nail polish, because I do think there's a lot of potential there. Like, fairy core would make a great collection. Cottage core would make a great collection. Like, there's a lot of potential. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Holo Taco does. This is a big collection, eight polishes. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, I will probably skip this one unless they do something to just wow my pants off. But also, like you said, it is not a limited edition. So, like, I don't feel like I'm going to be, like, rushing to get this one anytime soon.
Yeah. Stephanie, what's your favorite aesthetic?
I don't know, because I, like, in my life, I straddle many aesthetics. Like, my office, which is one of my favorite aesthetics, is like this 90s girl core, I guess is what I'd call it. So that might be my favorite aesthetic. But I would call my aesthetic on a day-to-day level, other than just like goth light, or like, you know, I wear clothes without a lot of colors in them. It would be like kind of a mix, like hipster biker goth core.
I'm trying to picture that. Yeah.
Well, you know, right now I don't have any leather vests that fit. But I used to wear a leather vest like all the time with like every outfit. And so like one of my favorite outfits used to be like, I would wear like a t-shirt, usually a graphic t-shirt. Sometimes I would wear like a flannel over it. And then I would always wear like a leather biker vest over that, and then I'd wear like a beanie and my like glasses that I need to see. But my glasses are like absolutely an aesthetic choice. Like, if you guys know the stress, like if you knew the stress of me trying to find new glasses, because so many of these glasses, like the nerd glasses, have like, they go down on the sides instead of up.
Yeah.
I need the scary anime eyes, not the loving anime eyes, you know?
Yes.
And so like it's really a thing. Like I cannot order glasses online because I just like I'm gonna get the wrong glasses. They're not gonna be like my perfect shape of glasses. So like I am very picky about the aesthetics of my permanent things. My hair has to be away. My glasses have to be away. My piercings have to be away. But then my clothes is like, whatever happens, and then I'll dress myself up when I need to.
Yeah.
I need the basics covered.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I have any sort of permanent aesthetic, because I'm gonna be honest, I love to wear jeans and a V-neck t-shirt. Mm-hmm. That's my go-to. That's what I wear. And a solid color V-neck. I don't really actually wear shirts with like images on them very often, unless you send me them.
Yes.
But yeah, for my house, I'm trying to get cottagecore, specifically dark cottagecore, and mid-century modern together.
Yeah.
They've never met. And I need to set up a meet cute for them, but I think maybe it's going to be weird, but I think I can make it work.
Yeah. You know what? Opposites attract, and you find love in the strangest places. So Mazel Tov on the marriage of mid-century and cottagecore. My sister is full on mid-century modern in her house, and she has been for years. And she has been since a little bit before it got really popular. And when I still really related it heavily to like my grandpa's house.
Yeah.
And so when she used to be like collecting furniture and stuff, I'd be like, really?
Really?
That? Yeah. And like, there's so many things in my life that my sister's like, really? That? Because we love each other, we get along so well, and there's many ways we're very alike, and then there's other ways where it's like could not be less alike.
Yeah, I think it's fun to watch like TikTok and Instagram reels of millennials recovering from their gray phase. It's like millennial gray was a thing for a long time because we grew up in these like knick-knack filled shag carpet homes, and we got the ick, and then we were like, no, I want sterile because I've never felt clean in my life. And it's nice to see people coming out of that, but I am afraid looking at Gen Z decorating their houses and stuff, it's swinging all the way back to knick-knack land. Like they're going full.
I never left knick-knack land.
I can't do it
because of the dust.
Yeah, but that's the thing, but I naturally, you see my office behind me, I naturally tend towards that, but I'm trying desperately to hold my knick-knacking back.
See, my mom was like she was like an Uber duster. She would dust things all the time, and also we had so many knickknacks. So I think that I just got the knickknacks without the ick, but nowadays I'm like, Stephanie, you're not your mom. These are so dusty.
I cannot dust 24/7, and that's what it takes. If you want a knick-knack filled home, you do you, but know the consequences. Know the responsibility.
I accept the consequences and the responsibilities, and I accept that it's just not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But speaking of the millennial gray phase, there were 2 polishes last night, one specifically, but there were some like polishes that should have been bright. Like the one that really comes to mind, Luna Lacquer All Hallows Eve. It is this kind of like, it's not really, I wouldn't call it muted, but in this context, I would call it muted. Generally, I'd say like, yeah, that's, a nice color. But inspired by orange, red, and other bright colors from vintage Halloween pumpkins. And we were just joking, like transported in a truck next to vibrant colors.
Yeah. Sun bleached for years were vibrant colors. Like, yeah, that is definitely like a sad beige mom going, let's have some fun.
There was this one, there was this like kind of like muted orange, and then there was like very muted purple, and we're like, the sad beige mom's like, I got streamers for Halloween, and it's like mauve and dusty coral.
Yes, it's mauve and coral, no.
Like, Mom, this isn't cool. My friends are gonna make fun of me.
They tried. They tried. Inspired by bright colors. Here's a muted coral for you.
Yeah. We just gotta get over with inspired by bright colors, but not actually a bright color.
We were just looking at him from a distance and like, ooh, that's a bit much. Let me
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought, that's great, but I tone it down. Bring it down a notch.
What is that meme with the car guys? He's like, this is fantastic, but I like this.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Inspired by bright colors. I feel like I get that a lot of my comments, like, oh, I like your videos, but I like a muted whatever. And I'm like, I don't like a muted anything. Give it to me completely saturated, pure color. And I will wear black and gray on a regular basis in my life. But
not
my room is saturated. I actually think about this a lot because I think about attraction a lot. And so sometimes like I'll be attracted to somebody or someone will be attracted to somebody that I'm like, oh, but they're nothing like you. And it's like, yeah, of course they're nothing like you, because what you want to look at and what you want to like be around is not necessarily what you want for yourself. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so like, when, I like presenting myself in a certain way, which is not 90s girl core. But when I want to view things, when I want to look at the aesthetic, I'm like 90s girl core.
Yep.
So maybe you want to wear an outfit inspired by bright colors. You love looking at them, but you're like,
it's not for me. Yeah. Not on me, but on you.
Yeah. I would say I love like large hairy men, but I don't want to be one. But that's a lie because I do also want to be one.
No, I watch these people with these crazy aesthetics, and they have the most amazing, bright, or opposite that, the full on goths, like just, there's just so many layers. It's amazing to watch and to look at, but I would never want to spend more than 15 minutes putting on an outfit. Forget that. No, t-shirt, jeans, maybe a ring, maybe mascara. That's it. Time to go out the door.
That's why I just wear 2 necklaces that do not need to be removed even in the shower.
Yeah.
Just like they just stay.
Yeah, that's how I am with my earrings. I do have the one non-normcore thing that is kind of permanent on me is I do have multiple piercings. Unfortunately, I lost one this summer. It closed up on me, but, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, I do have 5 remaining on my ears, but only on my ears. I refuse to get pierced anywhere else. So, anyway.
Yeah. All right, so we have a question now from Tiffany, and it is quite the question. I did ask in the Discord for questions, and y'all delivered. Thank you so much. Unhinged questions for an unhinged podcast.
Keep them coming.
Danny, would you like to read Tiffany's beautiful question?
Yes, Tiffany Ford asks, would you rather eat mayo sandwiches for the rest of your life and have an unlimited budget for polish, or eat whatever you want and not be able to buy polishes? Tiffany, what a choice. I have so many questions.
The second one. I already know the second one. Like, well, especially it depends on what we mean by eat anything that you want. Like, am I allowed have an unlimited budget for polish? Do I have an unlimited budget for food?
Yeah. No, that I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. When you say eat whatever you want, can I have ice cream for every meal for the rest of my life and have no health consequences? Like, what are we talking here, Tiffany? Can I eat at a 5-star restaurant every day because I have an unlimited food budget? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, because if that's the case, if either this translates to unlimited budget or unlimited calories, no consequences, I'm sorry, nail polish community, I gotta go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think I would pick that one because we have such a great community. We have a supportive group of friends. We can get polishes other ways.
That's true.
We can still make it happen.
Also, some of us have like 1,000 or 2,000 nail polishes. Not naming any names, me. And I don't need to buy. I mean, there's, if I couldn't buy top coat, that would be very hard. If I couldn't buy the staples, that'd be very, very hard. But if we're just talking the polishes and not the treatments, then honestly, that could be good for a while.
We'll be good for a while. Like, yeah, we'll be all right. I'll be sad, and I might try to sneak. I'll push the limits, trying to sneak around, figuring out what counts as buying and not buying polishes.
Also, like, do we get all the nutrition we need from these mayo sandwiches, or do we just die of malnutrition?
I was going to ask that too. Yeah. When we say, also, I'm assuming mayo sandwiches, it's literally mayo bread, which sounds not like the worst thing, but like also really not good. But yeah, what happens when we eat that every day for the rest of our lives? And we're only talking about eating here. Can I still have a protein shake once in a while? Can I still drink my living milk? Like,
don't drink your living milk, Danny. Do not drink the living milk. It will kill you.
No, pasteurized only for me.
Pasteurized
I don't like
only.
That living terminology. Yeah, because an unlimited budget for polish does sound pretty great, but I would feel guilty having a limited budget for all other aspects of my life, but not for polish. I'd be like, there's got to be a way to turn this around.
Yeah. There's got to be a way to as we start selling, you just start being a retailer at that point. You just open a shop and all of your overheads taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. I'd set up shop. And, like, are we physically unable to eat anything? But, like, what happens when I try to put something other than a mayo sandwich in my mouth? Like,
we're like a
Tiffany, I need
vampire.
to
We
know
just, like,
more.
throw it up. We're just like, oh, sorry, it made me so sick.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that, you know, okay, that's another question for me. If I translated it that way, if I had to be a vampire, if, like, you have to be a vampire and you only drink blood, like, somehow that's more appealing to me than a mayo sandwich, because then you're a vampire.
Yeah, if it comes with all the vampire perks, maybe. It depends on what kind of vampire, though.
I would like to sparkle, personally.
I mean, yeah.
I've got to drink blood every day.
There's really no downsides to that kind of vampire, because you get all the superpowers and you can still go in the sunshine. You just sparkle. Okay, you overdid it on the body glitter today. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like zero downsides.
Yeah. That sounds perfect. That sounds good to me. I would like the skin of a killer Bella.
Yeah.
I would become a vampire for unlimited nail polish, but I don't think I would go the mayo sandwich route.
Yeah, the mayo's... I think we'd find a different way to get our nail polish. So yeah, I think we're both going to go with eating whatever we want. Again, yes. Tiffany, we're going to need you to answer these follow-up questions.
Yeah.
And we'll get our polish kicks some other way. Probably just enjoying the huge collection we already have, / relying on our friends and family. Yeah. My mom would be so excited that I want Christmas presents again. I'm like, I want this and this and this and this. And I can't get it because I'm eating like a king. But yeah, great question, Tiffany. Love the unhinged nature of these questions that we got. I'm so excited to answer more of them. And hopefully we'll be, releasing on a regular schedule again. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, I think that is enough for today. So, Danny, why don't you take us out? Thank you all so much for listening. Please check out our YouTube channel and leave a comment with your favorite moment, a story to share, and of course, any questions you'd like us to answer in future episodes.
Be sure to check out Danny and I on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. I am Fanatic here. She is Danny Shout. All of our links are in the description. Join us next time when we paint miniatures of breakfast barnacles.
Stay lacquered.